Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 41. We are getting ready to go for our Prime Glory Gauntlet of the week. And so, before we dive in too much, if you're wanting to get some kind of in-depth guides on these decks, all of these have been covered on our channel in the past week or two. We're going to be playing Stony Suppressor Scouts, we're going to be playing Stony Suppressor Poppy Galio, and we're going to be playing Lulu Fizz. And so, I will touch on kind of our oddities today, but if you're looking for deck guides on these, you're not going to find it here in this video. And so, yeah, kind of my thoughts on the current meta in this format. Of course, the big boogeyman is still the Sundisk deck, right? It comprises like 10% of the meta. It was up to like 20 a couple weeks ago. Now it was like down to 15 last week, and now it's down to like 10 this week. And so it's certainly starting to fall out of favor as people get tired of playing the meme deck. And the format is kind of balancing out. It's really odd to me. This might have been something in like competitive Magic we would see in Modern, as to where the most popular deck was like 10% of the meta. But then after that, everything was just, really like wide and spread out. Never happens in Standard. Like in Standard, there's only like 4 or 5 or 6 decks that ever matter. And you get to really kind of like meta against those and try to, pick on the popular archetypes of the format. This is just not a format where you get to do that. That everything is so spread out so wide that there's no being like in our initial kind of Gauntlet videos, Yuumi Pantheon was extremely popular. And so we devised the strategy to just ban it and then play around the other decks. You can't really do that anymore. And so I'm doing what I just consider to be a general good cards kind of strategy. I think all of these decks are really powerful. They have some bad matchups. The main bad matchups are just going to be Yuumi Pantheon, which we aren't seeing that much of anymore. And so we do get to come in and just kind of like ban the scariest deck. And then just meta against the general field a little bit. And so the big thing you see across our decks is we do play Stony Suppressor almost across the board. Both of our Demacia-based decks are playing Stony Suppressor. It just plays into the themes so well of building up a big board and boosting everything. Works fantastically with the likes of the Vanguard Bannermans and Cythrias and 4 Demacias and everything. Just building up a big board works great with this, and it's so good at shutting down Victors and Aphelios and all of the spell-based strategies of the format. We are big supporters of the Stony Suppressor. The other thing that you're going to see out of this is we're playing a single copy of Radiant Guardian. Now, the matchups across the board are pretty good, but a lot of the aggro matchups tend to be pretty coin flippy. And so I just like to have a little bit of an edge in the Pirates, the Elise, burn decks, the 3 Noxus strategies coming at you if they're playing Darius Gnar, Darius Ziggs, or whatever. I just like to have a bit of an edge in those matches. So we aren't just like coin flipping 3 times and seeing who wins. And so we're playing the single copy of Radiant Guardian here in the Scouts. Otherwise, everything is pretty familiar and pretty straightforward. Same thing applies over here to to Poppy Galio. Has this same core that you see across the Scouts deck with the Fleet Feather Trackers, the Petricite Broadwings, and then the various ways to protect them. We're trying to build up the board and then boost everything with either Poppy or a Bannerman, and then play a rally. Again, the odd things you'll see out of this one is we are playing the Stony Suppressors. That's kind of new across the board. And when we're out here laddering, we do play Lulu in place of this Yuumi. But for deck number 3, we are playing a base Lulu deck, and so we need something to fit in here. Yuumi is okay. I do prefer the likes of Lulu, but Yuumi still works here in this deck where we're playing a bunch of challengers, right? It works on Fleet Feather Tracker, it works on the Broadwing, it works on the Protege. And then it's also a pretty decent target for the likes of Radiant Guardian. It's a pretty decent target for Poppy. It's an all-around just a good card, right? We don't want to play 3 copies of Galio because it's expensive. Let's get a high-powered champion in here. So that's where the Yuumi comes from. And then we're playing a fairly standard Lulu Fizz deck out here. The only big differences that you see in my list across from the other ones are, I think the most important thing you can be doing is trying to get a turn 3 Flame Chompers with Lulu. And for that to happen, you really want the additional discard cards. And so we have the Poro Cannon plus the full 3 copies of Scrap Heap. And then the oddball you'll find here is the Spirit Portal. We covered on Spirit Portal in our, hey, let's build around Flame Chompers strategy. And I really like it. This is a pretty all-around powerful card. It gives you a lot of burst attacks that your opponents aren't expecting. And it gives us an additional way to discard the Flame Chompers. And so it might not be used to seeing the Spirit Portal. It's certainly not a common one in this meta, but it's one that I am happy to use. And so that is it. Those are the archetypes we are bringing. I checked the pay-to-win price. I looked at all of our cards. Everything looks pretty good in those terms. I just some of the champions that we haven't come out here and turned premium. Otherwise, we're looking good. And then I'm kind of considering here, like, I think I want, ideally what I think would happen is they just ban our Yordles in arm stack. And so maybe if we put it on the left, they'll just ban our deck on the left. So let's put the Rally deck in the middle, the Stony Suppressor Scouts on the end. And maybe they'll just say, like, oh, yeah, Yordles in arms at the left, we'll just ban that one. And then we get to we get to bring our Stony Suppressors out on everybody. I like it. I like the idea. And see, this is the kind of matchups as to where I'm talking about liking having the Radiant Guardian. It just gives us a way to come in and gain some health. If you play a Radiant Guardian against like these base Bilgewater decks, like here at the end with the Gnar Gangplank, it feels pretty powerful and strong. And so that's kind of the idea there. I am going to leave Lurkers in. I think all of our matchups against Lurkers are fine. I'm leaning towards just banning Talia Ziggs. I don't think our matchups against it are terrible, but I think this is the one that has the most likelihood to give us some problems. All right. Oh man, it messed up our deck ordering, but the same thing still happened, right? They still came out here and banned our Yordles in arms. I don't know how that actually works, how the decks show up in the ordering there. That was kind of strange. But all right, we're out against the kind of oddball deck. Not exactly sure what we're up against with this Gnar Gangplank, but I think we'll be okay. And then we got a pretty reasonable start here with a Challenger and a Durandi Sculptor. Looks good, looks good. Figured it was going to be some kind of aggro number coming at us. I'll happily trade if that's what he wants to present. Okay. All right, now we have the real decision of the day in terms of what we do. I think we want to lead with the Broadwing. I don't want our opponent in this space to where they can like open and have a good open next turn. And the Sculptor just runs into some problems in those terms. So this is still fine. He has his 1-drop on the board. We could potentially trade with it a little bit later, but he can't open on us and get the Gangplank tick or the damage and then get a plunder or something. So many Broadwings. All right, well, we're definitely taking a bit of damage this turn. And the Bark Beast isn't that scary. Like, he's going to grow. He's going to attack with the Bark Beast out on the right. But with the Durandi Sculptor, we have the options to get the double Broadwing next turn and take it down. Now that he's killed our unit, it's not a thing. We just get to straight up kill the Bark Beast. That's pretty sweet. All right, Broadwing number 1. Wonder if he'll drop like a Make It Rain here just to take the Sculptor off the board. Looky there. Sure. It's pretty good for us, though. I mean, it does suck to lose the Sculptor right before we play the Broadwing and right before we summon Quinn, but we are getting his board pretty worn down this way. It's good to me. And Cythria, looking good. Looking good, squad. So he comes in here. We'll just take the Gangplank hit. We're going to be too powerful next turn to worry about it too much. So I'm going to open and attack into the Powder Keg, and then we'll drop Cythria and make a real attack on the follow-up. Sure. Conchologist is a little scary, right? If he's able to find a Make It Rain or a Pokey Stick or whatever, a Wallop would be annoying as fuck. Really want to get the attack in with Cytherea this turn.
Astounding curiosities lie ahead.
What you got for us? Something's coming at us. The boom ship. Okay. Alright, let's get to battle. So, I want to take down both of his small units where we can. I kind of want to leave Cytherea out here protected. So if we do need to block the Gangplank next turn, we can at least try and take it down with this big mountain of stats in her. And he doesn't have a great block into the Quinn. He's going to have a Pokey Stick to face to boost up the Gangplank and get him leveled up. Okay. So he's definitely flipping his Gangplank next turn, right? He's got the Scrappy Bomb on board, but we're in a pretty decent space to deal with him. He's going to get that AoE that's fucking annoying, but Cytherea should be enough to take him down and still keep us pretty well protected. And Gnar. So do we ever want to just go ahead and drop a Golden Aegis? That's how we get to come out here and prevent the most damage. If we drop the Aegis onto Cytherea, it's going to eat the barrier thing, or the 1 damage thing from Gangplank. I think that's okay. We can also, interestingly enough, he attacks with Gangplank, does the AoE, and then we block the Stone Stackers with the Broadwing, and he misses out on the impact. I think that's kind of neat. Okay. Say, goddamn, Bust, you have the neatest plays. Damn, son, your plays are so neat. Oh, that's fucking annoying. Okay. All right. So I guess we'll have to block Gangplank with Quinn as it looks. I guess we don't have to. But that was kind of a disastrous outcome. So we can do this. We're gonna fall to 1, which is pretty scary. But it kind of aces his board. We still have a non-zero amount of potential to win the game if we do this. What if we do this? What if we switch these around? Let Quinn take the hit from Gnar. Then we can drop the Quinn bird, get a scout attack, hit it with Gangplank, and then we can make some other attacks. Okay, I think I'm okay with this angle. That puts us at 2, which is much, much better than being at 1, right? We don't die to Make It Rains like this. Okay, I like it. I like it. All right, so Quinn Bird on board. Going to come in and hook the stone, or do we hit the Stone Stackers? I don't think so. That doesn't quite do enough. Okay. He does have this Pokey Stick in hand. That's kind of the downside to making the attacks like we did there. All right, so Quinn Bird will hook the Gangplank, and then I mean, are we okay with that? We have to trade away the Quinn for the Stone Stackers this way. Okay. It's like I would rather just have a way to deal with Gangplank next turn. What if we just attack with the Suppressor? That'll get Quinn to flip. And then we can try and make a Quinn attack next turn with double Cythereas. I think that's the way to go about it. take away his only fearsome blocker next turn.
I'll cut my name into ya.
Okay. Alright, so we gotta fade some shit, but I think we've got ourselves in a decent spot here. Oh, no, no, no. Fuck. Fuck, I forgot about him getting a powder keg. Fuck. Alright. Damn. I don't know what else we were supposed to do there. Alright. That's booty. But I still feel okay with these matchups. Both of our decks should be pretty decent against lurkers. Bring the scouts again. Man, we're getting so close to that, and I forgot all about the powder keg coming in. I thought we found the perfect angle to keep us just out of the single damage burn range, and just didn't quite get there. I mean, we could have switched those blocks back around, but would that have worked if he would have then switched to getting like the Mega Gnar the next turn and not having Pokey Sticks off of his Gnar? I mean, that might have been the way to go about it. Using that Broadwing to stop one of his strikes. Interesting. What's happening? What are you doing, Riot? Oh my god, are we gonna get disconnected? What's the deal with this shit? Work. Come on. Do it. Work. I guess I better restart it fast. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Alright, so let's hang on to the Durandi Sculptor and the Misfortune. Reasonable enough opener. And look for some other cheaper plays. Okay. Okay. Okay's across the board. This isn't one of these matchups to where I'm like super excited about using the Durandi Sculptor just to like boost everything. Because their units grow so big that 1 point of health is often irrelevant. And so I'm looking to just lead with the Mirai Warden. And then try and get some advantages out of the Broadwings and the Misfortunes. Well, if he's opening, that's a little different. And Rek'Sai on top. Alright.
Nice to meet you. I'm Isla.
Bull Shark, cool. I'm probably not going to use it, just planning on playing Misfortune, but it's a powerful one. Oh, we may end up using it. Wow.
No prey, no pay.
Hitting the Ranger's Resolve. Wonder if he leads with like the Sharp Fist, whatever that quick attacker is. Nope. Alright. I'm bringing it, my dude. Shenanigans are afoot. I'm bringing it. And this is pretty okay. We're going to be spending all of our mana on units, and so burning this one spell mana is not that bad. Especially if Misfortune survives this. Like, if he has to waste his time next turn hooking in Misfortune, it's a pretty good deal for us. Okay. You got it, my dude. So are we going to be able to get ahead of the attack? You know, we know that he has like a Rek'Sai. I was trying to consider if we could find ourselves in a spot to where the health matters. We can actually get over top of his health, but that's not going to happen anymore. Let's get the Island Navigator down. Give us a blocker for the Rek'Sai here if we need it. Rip Misfortune. Okay. Okay. Works for me. I wonder if he just has another Rek'Sai in hand. And that's why we see this kind of play. That's a lot of scalp boomage that we can bring here. I think this is good. It's like if he has the 3/5, used to be the 3/6, now a 3/5, that's kind of annoying. But it seems like we should be getting a lot of good attacks here. Making the predicts. You predict and say, oh, fuck, it's not Pike. Oh, fuck.
Give us some room.
Oh, not the pool shark. I'm okay to attack with the flower child if he wants to take the value block with the collar. We'll get a kill on it next turn. Okay. Keep his board as empty as we can. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Sad noises. Here's our way out with the Vanguard Sergeant. It's going to be a turn too slow in this space, though. Is he going to actually be able to level up Rek'Sai this turn? He needs a Rek'Sai on top of his deck, right? None of these have Fearsome. Okay.
Every work demands a piece of ourselves.
So, I mean, if he has it, it's kind of whatever. Stopped at 9. Okay.
Where you going?
Stay still.
Okay. That seems very positive for us.
All right, let's get to work.
Get all these stats down. Sure.
Now that's a bit better.
And so yeah, the only unfortunate thing here is we don't have enough mana to be making 4 Demacia style plays.
Slight adjustment.
But seems okay. Got a healthy enough life total to not just get ravaged by an overwhelming Rek'Sai. The Under Titan. Okay.
A little reinforcement at the seams.
So we're stuck just leaving it on the board. He's gonna get the attack in with it next turn. There's not anything we can do about that. But let's preserve our board with these other two. We have the 4 Demacia for our next attack. Okay, so if he has another Rek'Sai, then we're just kind of fucked. But if we can go into the next turn, then we might be okay. All right.
Been a long path to get here.
All right. Which is this going to come at us for like 20 some? We have reasonable health stoppage. Oh, I forgot this Durandi Sculptor was vulnerable. That's kind of problematic. Comes the Rek'Sai flip. Are we dead? Can't tell if we're dead or not. She's coming in for 12.
Fall by my sword.
All right, fall to 1. Don't think we're going to be able to get around this, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Crazier things have happened.
We Demacians are no easy prey.
Okay. He boomed us. He boomed us good. But see, that's kind of those matchups. There's kind of why I like to having that single copy of Radiant Guardian. It's not like the end all be all in this match, but it's like it's a pretty coin flippy match, right? If we take a peek at the old matchup table, and you pull up Misfortune Quinn, and then find wherever it's way down here at the end of the meta. Here it is, Rek'Sai, right? You're just like a 53% favorite over top of them. It's not a super good matchup, and so I know it's kind of hard to see, but the Pike column is here if you're seeing it highlighted now. The Misfortune column is here. going over to Pike Rek'Sai, you're just a very slight favorite. And so I prefer to just be a little bit stronger against them. It's not like we're making a big a big trade to include that, but if you do get the turns to where it trades with a unit and then gains you 4 attack, or if you get to come in and block it with a barrier, it's all in all pretty powerful. And okay, so this does have a collection of not great matchups, but we do have the Stony Suppressor for a lot of this, and so the one that I'm most certainly going to leave around is the Aphelios Victor deck. I'm completely fine with that. We do have a lot of bad matchups against Ezreal Caitlyn, but I'm a little bit more worried playing against Sentinels. Like, Sentinels can have a lot of board control based off of units to where these other decks can't. And so I'm gonna take the Sentinels out and then roll the dice against Ezreal Caitlyn here. And he bans out the Pantheon deck, or the Yuumi deck. That's interesting to me. But let's bring in, who do we want to start with? Let's start with the Fizz Lulu. I think Fizz Lulu is more positive against the Ezreal Caitlyn deck. All right, not the greatest of starts. Let's hang on to the Urchin, come out here and dig for our friend Lulu. Does not make an appearance. Not the greatest of starts here. I'm gonna get rid of the get excited. Just look for some more stuff to do. There's the Lulu piece of the equation. Fizz saying what up? Okay, I'll go ahead and take this block. We're going to have trouble making that unit actually do something, but we can protect our Fizz with Lulu next turn and protect with Scrap Heap. Might have a bit of time in those terms. Annoying, but sure. Is a real problem if he has a Ravenous Flock. Fuck. Okay. Okay. But we do get access to our Yordle Captain now to start boosting the size of our units. Got the beam. God. Sometimes you have it all. Okay. So what are we going to move on to now? We need to get this Scrap Heap going. I'm not amped about the Poro Cannon at this stage of the game. Like, I know that that's like a pretty reasonable way to close these out, but I think we need to come in and just try and pick up the stats off of these Scrap Heaps and just go for the big units here. Kind of like Professor Von Mech. Just for the big stack of followers. His downside is he trades with the opponent's 3-2, but this does catch us up quite a bit in terms of getting dudes on the board. Herald of Spring out here doing the work. Also gives us a bit more fuel for this the Scrap Heap and the Zonite Urchin. If we, for whatever reason, don't want these cards, it's a pretty decent discard.
I think we have something on that case. Are you ready? Let's take it for a spin.
Okay. Get rid of the Rockfall Path. It's a little slow here. The world's first Flame Chompers finally making an appearance. I appreciate it, my dude. Let's go ahead and make moves with it. We might want to open next turn. Trump Techer's good here. Right? Does he give us enough stats, or would we rather just go for a big boy? I think we probably want the stats. Okay. And we're still ready with the Mystic Shot if he has a burn for Fizz. Nope. Something like this. Not taking a ton of damage here, not losing out on too much, but like our Trump Techer is not going to be that strong against some of these other units. I think this is good. We're getting all the supports. The support deck bringing the thunder. Standard. Standard for us. I have like the actual worst luck in the planet in terms of what happens with the flashbang traps. All right.
If it's a people problem, I'm your man.
Come at you. Let's protect this. Let's protect this Pix. He's doing the work. And I'm actually curious to see if opponent drops a burn spell onto his Spiderling to prevent us from gaining all that health. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Trumpet Decker get Scorched Earth now, but not a bad board. Not bad. This is weird. Does the Unlicensed Innovation, it should say it was created by the Fancier. Interesting. Okay. Who you got for us, Bandle City Mayor? It's looking like a Poro sled.
I should make a speech. Where's my speech?
Pretty safely just take 5 from the contraption. Might get a big attack next turn. No, that's unfortunate. But okay. We'll just lifesteal all this back. I'm not worried about this attack whatsoever. And Lulu. So can we actually open into this? Like, if we open, he blocks our 5/5. We'll gain 1 health. It doesn't really matter. But then we get to hit for 3, 6, 7, 8, like 9, 10. That's pretty close enough to lethal. I don't think we can fuck around with just adding dudes to the board. Where this gets to be problematic, maybe we should. This gets to be problematic if he starts to have like Scorched Earth and Ravenous Flock and such in the middle of combat. I think he shouldn't have AoEs, though. Shouldn't have AoEs. That's fine. Add in our Mystic Shottable unit. But putting the vulnerable onto this dum-dum does let us hook it with picks. And then come in for a bunch of damage otherwise. Game says we're coming in for 15. Should be more now. Got our Sinister Poro doing his thing. Oof. I don't feel like we deserve that one, but sometimes you bring the magic at him. Okay. Okay. What a collection of units doing the Lord's work out here. Now we get the opportunity to play the Stony Suppressors a couple times in a row. Now, granted, the normal Scouts matchup is not that great against Ezreal Caitlyn, but it's A, certainly winnable. B, we have this Stony Suppressor, and C, we have a copy of Radiant Guardian to help out a little bit. And so, lots of options, lots of good stuff potentially coming out of this. Okay enough to hang on to these. The Durandi Sculptors are like a little questionable in the early game since they died a Mystic Shot, but if you're able to get it going, it can be quite powerful. Right, all their removal, not all their removal, but most of their removal's damage based, and so that 1 point of health can be pretty important. Oh, there it is, there it is. Alright, Bust's ready for battle. Let's get this misfortune going now. So I'm not in like a huge hurry on this board, right? I'm just going to Fleet Feather Tracker hook the Spiderling. Okay, well, that's different now, but didn't even kill her. Didn't even kill her. What are you doing, my dude? Are we just like rolling the dice as high as we can? Interesting. Okay. Sure.
All right, let's get to work.
Let's get to work.
Oh, I've never met anyone like you.
All right, so how's this turn going? What up, Cythria? Hey, I'm surprised, I'm surprised you didn't hit our Fleet Feather Tracker. Strange. Strange, I know. Okay. Let's just go ahead and try and protect our Fleet Feather. We're about to get these like really big and wide boards, and we don't have anything else to do this turn. And so if he has to spend like more removal spells on the Fleet Feather, or if he has to spend... I like it. I like it. Unfortunate, but sure. Look at this. How much we're up to? Are we up to 3 mana on the Stony Suppressor at this point?
Well, what have we here?
Show them what we're made of.
Never blocking this Caitlyn, but I'm interested to see if he attacks. Not losing Cythria to a Scorched Earth. Beautiful, beautiful.
I've got your back.
So the only downside to this turn is we can't play both the Vanguard Sergeant and the Golden Aegis. But oh, this game should just be done. This game's done, right? I was gonna say I think there's a surrender in the back. Yeah, I love having these matchups to where you get to showcase the Stony Suppressor. Nobody else believes in it, man. Nobody believes in it but me. God, that was soul crushing. All right, GG. On to the next one. Whew. So what do you all think of the upcoming patch notes? I think this is fantastic. Here, what do we have going on with this? Like, I'm going to leave the Victor Riven. I'm happy against all of our matchups against Victor Riven. Again, this is another place where the Stony Suppressors are quite good. I don't like playing against the Soraka deck, but we're reasonably strong against it. And then the Vigio Kindred deck's another one to where Stony Suppressor can be quite good. I think we can let them hang on to the Soraka deck. It just takes a bit of odd work to take down. It's ban Vigio. But no, I think it's great what they're doing with the patches. Again, my thing, like I do concede that me and you as a person that's probably actively seeking Legends of Runeterra content on the YouTube, probably play more than the average person. Like if the average person plays like 3 or 4 games a day, I don't know how long it takes them to get like burn out on a format. But for me, as like a real grinder, it was always like right now I'm kind of done with the format. I don't feel like there's too much to explore. That's not to say I'm not having fun with it, but I feel like the meta is just kind of like balanced out now. And so if you're not playing tournaments or not trying to hit the top of the ladder, there's not that much excitement to it. And I think it's really sweet that they've here. If we have to play with this, I think I want to keep the Poppy deck second. That's what I'm getting at. And so I really like this idea of we're going to release cards for a month, and then the next month we're going to do a balance patch, and then the next month we're going to release cards. Like I think it's a fantastic concept, and I think it's going to turn out quite well for those of us that play the game quite a bit. And it's just something that you could never do with Magic, and something I'm really surprised that they never dealt with Hearthstone. Maybe they do with Hearthstone now, but it's so nice that there's so much new stuff and freshness happening. Excellent. So this matchup can be a real pain. You're not like really favored against Riven Victor. Like we would rather take our Demacia deck up against this. But I think this is fine. I'm not going to put any damage on the Flame Chompers. I'm fine to trade the Boom Baboon with whatever he wants to put forth. Surprised it's a Ballistic Bot. Now we're getting built up to a nice Lulu turn. So we're probably going to need her to be ready for an open.
Here I am! Wherever here is.
Excellent. Yeah, we're not going to get enough aggression. Let's just go ahead and attack. And it's fairly tempting to Mystic Shot if he blocks. Just be indicative of having like a Mystic Shot or something in hand. We do have an additional Lulu with this Whimsy, but okay, definitely doing it. It's just if this also, denies him a point of mana as well. This feels pretty good. Pretty good.
These hands know metal and magic.
Here, I'm gonna just bank the mana. I want to add the Daring Poro here. Then ideally next turn, we'll hit like Trumpet Tecker or one of the big mechs in the scrap heap. Give us a chance to see what's gonna happen though. I will sign up for a little bit more information. Victor. Okay. Has he seen either of these Flame Chompers? He's seen this one on the left. Oh, we got no Trumpet Tecker, unfortunately. I'm leaning towards just going for the Elusive. It's not super ideal here, but it's got a bunch of stats. Okay. But yeah, it's so great in terms of the patch cadence. I think they've put together a real good concept there. I get what Riot was trying to do with taking your one big set and then splitting it up across multiple releases. Quick attack. Ew, that's kind of gross. Right, because the most exciting times for these games are when the new cards are being released, and so picking up that bit of excitement around your game is pretty important. And so I get, breaking things up into the different patch cycles. I don't think the big set kind of merging around worked out as well as they had hoped or dreamed. But I think they're really going to start to catch their rhythm and have things work out nicely. Here, this is fine. Chunking in big damage, taking down the Victor. This looks good. Okay.
Are you ready? Let's take it for a
Star-tipped peak. Kind of interesting. Oh god, you're just bringing decimates already? Uh-oh. That's scary. That's a little scary. How much elusive can we get in for next turn? I mean, he does have a blocker. We can potentially deal with it. But we can say, like, he doesn't have any Poros. Like, we could hit for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to be short on that. Ugh. Was that Decimate generated by the Archivist? No, that was last turn, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sad noises. And an ambush. Sure. Alright, I'll block. Well, he's out of cards at this point. That's at least a pretty big perk for us. Equinox and Moonsilver. Okay. Not the greatest collection of cards, but it'll get the job done. Do we want to try it? Do we want to flip this Fizz? I guess that's like a reasonable question, right? Because I do want to hook the Archivist with our Flame Chompers. I think it's fine, like how this is. So we'll lose our Fizz to one of these units, but well, I guess I should have stopped to consider our Lulu flipping.
Carry your own gear.
Take 6, okay. Oh, rip Lulu. Okay, but man, we're just in a pretty great spot now. His board is empty. We have 5 cards in hand to his 2. We're looking good. Victor was about the best thing that he could do. Can't silence a Victor as much sweetness as that would be. Okay. So barring some kind of like really weird connection of like Scout plus Overwhelm plus Ambush, I think we should be okay. Well, he's starting with the Scout. Maybe we should have dropped a Poro there, but I feel like we would. We'll have the mana to play whatever we want to play. Scout, quick attack. All right.
Welcome to the team. Join the hunters, they said.
Don't think there's too much reason to overwrite here. I'm gonna say he's gonna attack twice. So if we add the Baboon, he attacks again, then we can play Flame Chompers. Just get rid of our smallest unit. Well, probably don't really need to protect the Poros. Okay. Yeah, I like this. It's the smaller amount of damage. There's Flame Chompers. You can Flame Chomp hook the Squire, hook Victor, and then we're coming in for too many units for him to deal with. We ever drop the Yordles in arms? I can't imagine we ever lose to like one of the cards in his hand, right? If he has 2 burn spells, he's still not dealing enough damage. But this definitely seals it up.
Let's get to work.
Okay, rip. All of our units do the required 7 damage. Okay, ooh, that one was scary. I don't know if you all were scared of that one. I was a little scared. Okay. Now maybe we'll get to showcase the Stony Suppressor again. Say what up, Riven Victor. Here's the Stony Suppressor. Makes your spells expensive. But no, the other thing I thought was pretty cool coming out of the new cards and stuff was would be the release of the new cards, where Riot's going to they did it with the last patch with like the Rocket Barrage and such, and now they're saying they're going to do it again with the elites, and then with the reputation cards. And I think that's fantastic. It's like I've always wondered, like my example is spiders, right? Spiders were released in the initial set, and then I don't think they got any more support until like the Mount Targon set. And so there was just this big gap between when the spiders were actually out here doing anything. And I thought it was pretty sweet. Riot coming in and releasing some cards, but it gets to be the point where there's like so many mechanics in the format that it's easy to forget about a card's existence. And so I thought it was a pretty cool way to go about injecting new cards into the format, but not having it kind of mess with the thematics of the set. So, but here this is going fine. The thing you have to watch out for with this deck is if you start playing Vanguard Bannerman before you play Poppy, then you run into a lot of boards to where Poppy doesn't boost anything. And so given the opportunities, you're going to want to play your Poppy first. Here he's not doing anything to contest our board. This seems fairly abysmal for opponent. He just spent a bunch of cards, spent a bunch of cycle, and didn't really do anything. Suppressor, maybe next turn. Most certainly playing a Bannerman here. I'm interested in if he opens. Like, we have some protection in the sharp side. He can't kill our units that matter with the Boxtopus, though. He can hook and kill Laurent Protege, but... Oh, that feels like the poor choice. He's got to have quite the exciting boost here. That saves but doesn't kill. Okay.
I sculpt what others only dream of.
I got like a little chatty and a little click happy. We probably should have blocked Soraka with Poppy. I think we missed out on that one, but we're still in a pretty powerful space here. You can say, "Hey, sir, here's the Stony Suppressor." Why, hello, sir. Here comes the good cards. Your spells are expensive now. Oh, he stuns our Poppy? That's kind of lame. I don't want to say it just yet, but this guy probably doesn't like to have fun. Are we willing to, like, trade out something? We're just going to play Galio next turn, right? And so I'm fine with trading one unit down. Let's try this. His Challenger unit's the only one that feels like it really matters on this board. And if he wants to invest a bunch of spells into protecting the Boxtopus, I think that's okay. 5 mana, sure.
I weave my own fate.
Okay, now we're ready for Galio.
Be at peace.
Ring the fucking bell.
Ring the fucking bell. I'm still pretty confident that that's what the card says. It says to ring the fucking bell.
Take heart.
Okay.
Oh no, my hammer's way too small for you.
They don't make too many accessories in my size.
Don't make too many accessories my size. Poor Galio, my dude. My dude. His hammer's not big enough. Oh, Poppy.
You been drinking this?
Alright, well this looks pretty good. Galio flip's gonna be...
I may be made of stone.
Oh, it's the first time an ally, not the first time Galio takes damage. Okay, we should be good. And a Relentless Pursuit. Lulz. Let's get all the attacks in here. You gotta look at this. The Soraka deck thought it was gonna bring some stats on us. Nah, dude. Nah, dude. We're bringing the stats. Ready, set, slam. Enjoy this, my dude. Look at all these tiny units out here. So small. So small. Poppy's going to be flipping on the next attack as well. This game, I have no idea how you could claw out of this game. It's just going to be so expensive to do it as well with the Suppressor on the board. Alright. Protected Soraka. Could not care less. What else you got for us? What else you got? Pale Cascade, you killed a unit. Okay. It's got 3 mana left. Let's get that next attack in. He rang the fucking bell. Where's Soraka? Here we go. Everything has impact now, right? All them delicious stats.
No hero, huh? Guess I'll finish this one. We got this.
Ready to get some elites in this deck. Let's get some elites and some reputations. Look at this, we're popping off on reputation now. Can't wait to see what the new ones are. Oh. Says he's dead. I was ready to play another rally. Ripperino, my dude. GG.
That was fun. So who's next?
That was fun. You're fucking right, that was fun, Galio. That was good stuff. All right. Oh, I thought we were in the final battle. We got another one to go. All right. Next battles. Started watching Shang-Chi. It's got, what do we got here? Such a weird set. It's like you have the ultra aggro deck and the Elise. You have the slow control-y deck and the ramp thing with Tryndamere, and then you have the Victor Riven. So weird. It's not like you say, okay, which of these 3 things is my deck bad against? I'm just gonna ban that. So it's just like it seems like you're setting yourself up to just be in the worst situation possible. But either way, I'm fine to leave this Elise. I feel like we're tuned well enough to beat it. Victor Riven is, a little unfortunate if for like Lulu Fizz, but I think these other matchups with it, it's fine. I'm looking to just come in here and ban out the Trundle Tryndamere deck. I don't want to play against the stupid ramp deck. Cool. We get to bring our teched out Demacia against both of these decks. Pretty sweet. Let's start with the Pirates. And so, Shang-Chi, it's been fine. I'm old now, so I can't watch like a whole movie in one sitting. It's like we just started it and watched like half of it. But the use of CGI in it has been depressing. Like, that was one of the things that was like really choice about the Fast and the Furious movies for the longest time. Come on, kitty. It was that they like the car crashes and shit all looked real because they used real cars. They would just go out there and fuck up all the cars. Who knows what their budget was on real American muscle, but they probably spent more money on cars than they spent on Vin Diesel. And, it paid off and everything just looking super sweet. And so here, can we drop the Broadwing? It's like his 2-drops. If his 2-drop is Ballistic Bot, it looks brilliant. But if his 2-drop is Runeweaver, it looks terrible. We'll go ahead and drop it and see what happens. But, that was one of the more unfortunate things now. Like, I get when you're making the scene in the Fast and the Furious to where you're just, like, chucking cars out of buildings. Like, you're in downtown New York or wherever it was, and they're just throwing cars off the top of a building. Like, that shit is sweet, right? That's something where I wouldn't expect you to use real cars in that thing. They might have done it in a large degree. I don't fully remember the whole story there. But in Shang-Chi, it's like, that was always one of the big things in Kung Fu movies, I thought, was that, you fucking cat. I knew she was going to go for it, just right into my arm. God damn it. I knew that here we have to attack or he'll ignite and take down our unit. But it's like, in all the Kung Fu movies, it was all like wire fu or whatever they would call it, to where, sure, this is fine, to where they would use like humans and wires, and that's how they would make them all like fly across the screen and everything. And they I guess they didn't get the memo in this one. There's like a lot of scenes that were just like very, very, very heavily CGI'd. And I was like, I'm pretty sure in like the bus scene right at the beginning of the movie that the like even portions of the interior of the bus were just CGI. It was fucking wild to me. But is what it is. Been a pretty decent movie up to this point. Okay, Radiant. You might have a spot in this turn. Probably not. He's just gonna play an augment and pass.
Nothing gets between me and my mark.
Alright, kitty, I'll give you a pet. It's Dum Dum. If you want to see, get her on the internet real quick. Says, "What up? My name's Pepper." This one's Pepper. People want to know the names. she's a dumb shit, but she's a sweetheart. All right, and so are we just going to go ahead and take this damage? I think I'm kind of okay with it. Although, well, if we're gonna need to make some space on our board next turn. We shouldn't have any trouble doing that though. Okay. The damage is taken.
Cold, I'm hungry, and there's rocks in me boots.
Interesting. Plays a unit that just like auto dies to our scouts. We're a little far away from flipping either of our units, and I do want to give him the option to lose as a victor, I guess we should say. Okay. However you want to interact with Quinn is fine with me. Sure. Get a bunch of damage and a 3-mana Mystic Shot. That sounds pretty cool. Didn't lose any units, though. You gotta kill one of our units, man. gotta get that bonus damage in there. Alright. You're not gonna listen to us, that's fine, I guess.
Soldiers, to me.
Alright, make some noises. But no, otherwise, Shang-Chi's been good. You do run into some of the scenes and you're like, this is the entire cast from Crazy Rich Asians. Like, they got them all. They got everybody in here. But other than that, Crazy Rich Asians was a good movie nonetheless, but that's what I immediately thought of once I saw a lot of that. Alright, Quinn's coming in. We're just going to go ahead and hook in the Ballistic Bot, get this thing off the board. We'll lose our Quinn this combat to the Runeweaver, that's fine. Otherwise, is there still reason to attack with Mirai Warden if this is the case? It doesn't look great. Warden has to come back. Okay.
Your fate was written.
Yep. Alright, not bad. I'm happy enough with this board. Now we're in kind of the spot to where we can play Mirai Warden and Cythria, then open next turn, and just have tons of damage coming at him. Okay. We had an elusive? Did not. Oh, did I math that wrong? Shit. That's tough. We had 7. Oh, I guess that costs 8. Whoops. Classic bust math coming at you. Classic. And Ballistic Bot. Okay, we can just play a unit now. So we'll take 2 from the Nyandroid. He concedes. All right. We got him, kitty. We got him. I'll give you pets after that. Some nice head scratches. You deserve it. You deserve it. All right. Stony Suppressor doing its thing. Let's see if we get to drop Stony Suppressor into Victor Riven 2 games in a row. Feels pretty good. Feels good, man. Nobody else wants to play it. I don't know why. I still stand by Scouts being one of the top decks in the format. I think it's a top 3-er, in my opinion. All right, what do we got? Yuumi showing up. This is kind of an odd start, but I don't think we can pass on this. It's like I don't really want Yuumi or Yordle Smith without with any of the challengers. But it should be like easy to find pretty good attacks with him. But it's like another odd spot to where if like we load up the Yordle Smith with Yuumi, let's just get rid of everything. I want a challenger. That just looks so much better. So much better. Okay. not attacking. We can build up some board here.
Remember, we're the ones who make progress happen.
I don't want to lose any units. Do we take 4? I think it's okay. It's like we're just getting built up into this spot to where like the Broadwing and the Bannermen are going to be so good.
Get to work.
We can trade out the Fleet Feather. We're not going to have time for it, I guess. Okay.
A little reinforcement at the scene.
Like the Sculptor's not going to last much longer. We feel is passing. Okay. Okay, I guess that's how we're gonna do it. Oof. He's got Victor. We missed. Fuck. It's like we have. I guess we're drawing Yumi next turn. Come on. Guess we're drawing Yumi.
It's my time.
There's the famous Phil Hellmuth quote. He is a poker player, where he goes out there and says, "If luck wasn't involved, I would win every time." Which, granted, is a completely absurd statement, but it's so beautiful. I love hearing it. Oh, Yordle Smith's in here as well. I forget we play 4 cards. Man, I really wish we would have picked up a Yumi here. But that's how I have to feel some of these times, right? I'm pretty confident in saying that I'm probably the unluckiest person on the planet. That's how we want to do it. Doesn't seem that great. We'll get the Radiant down at some point. It's just like this all falls apart if we make the challenge onto Victor and he has to get excited. Like we can play through a Mystic Shot because we have Sharp Sight, but if he gets a better killer onto the Broadwing, then it's a real problem. Okay. We'll get a good turn eventually. We're about to build up into something special with the Radiant and the barriers. Is that Spell Shield? God, I hate that overlay. He passes back to us and we bank 6. I think it's okay. Let's just keep passing. I want to get this Radiant down with the boost this turn. He's definitely attacking this turn now. Okay. We may be looking to Sharp Sight now. Okay. Okay, that's enough. That's enough, I tell you. Now we could make a barrier rally. Much more challenging for this Victor hook to go wrong. He probably has to like Lightning Bolt now or whatever his burn spell is, just to turn a Broadwing into like a 2/2. Not my first rodeo, Brohine. Something like that. Looks good. Still need like a unit booster or something, but speaking of unit boosters.
Someone who won't break.
Give me a day and you'll have 2.
How big is Galio? So we got 33 health up on this brother. Alright. Man, we can just attack with everything, right?
Steady hand.
With all of our, well, our Guardian doesn't have quick attack. That's okay. He doesn't have any like kill blocks on our stuff. I think this is good. Gotta block Galio with something or he just gets domed. Now, I mean, it might be a little greedy, right? We could just go into next turn and then try to flip Galio and attack a bunch of times, but I think this is going to be fine. Looks like we technically still have enough Galio health to get out of the turn. I'd suspect that he's going to Mystic Shot or something. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Even the greatest minds
Rip. Cool. Just some more sharp sights for good measure. Make sure we don't die to anything weird. I like it. Oh, he has. I thought he had regenerate. I've been playing this whole game like Victor had regenerate. I wasn't wanting to put any damage on him. I was afraid that he was going to boom us. Man. All right. Well, here comes a ribbon sword, I guess. It's got to hit us for 20. It's through a Radiant Guardian. If we're going to be real, that's pretty tough to do. The downside with this turn is, well, I guess it's not like a huge downside. I was going to say, like, we need to watch how we play our Relentless Pursuit so we don't overuse our rally, but let's be real, it's not going to matter. Well, actually it does. He can't play the Ribbon Sword if we rally right now. Well, he can play the sword, but we're just going to get to attack. Okay. Right, so if he plays the sword now, then he can't hit us. Looks good.
Even a fragment snuffs out lives.
Ambush Victor. Does he have, he does have Overwhelm.
I will end this here.
Only taking 9. So what's the most he could come out of hand for? It's not that much damage. Okay. Boomed him. We made it. We made it to the final battle. Boom. The button has been pushed. The queue is going. I'm excited. Oh, man. See if we face the Porobot. So the other thing I was wondering, I haven't had food poisoning in, oh, it's been like a decade. I've only had it one time. We might have to circle back to this. Same guy? Yep. All right. We'll ban the same deck. But, you know, it was, you go to like the mall and there's the food court. Do people still do that? I don't know. I haven't like legitimately gone to the mall to shop probably in 20 years, but there was one of the places I used to work, there was a food court, and man, I feel a little worse about playing Lulu Fizz here. These matchups aren't as great as I want. I want our Stony Suppressor decks, but you know, it was a food court. They had Japanese place there. Just the standard. It's rice and meat of your choice. We're gonna put brown sauce on it. It was one of those, and I think we want to hang on to this whole thing. I think like Mystic Shots are just pretty slow. I want to be getting units down. I definitely want the Boom Baboon to try and block an Elise. Okay. And so yeah, totally got food poisoning, and it was horrible. I kind of, you know, it was one of those things as to where when you're like early in your career and you're looking for an excuse not to go to work. You say, "Oh, I got food poisoning. I got the shits." You know, sorry. And you always feel kind of bad for that to be like the actual case. Everybody's like, "Bust, I'm sure you're sick. I'm sure you got the poops. You just drank too much last night, didn't you?" And it's like, well, no. But the other dude at work also got food poisoning. We were both just annihilated at the same time, and so we made it through that. But where that was going, here we need the baboon. I want to be able to get a unit going with Lulu. I want to ensure that we have it. But where that was going was like I was thinking this morning. It's like Mexican food's so good. Like if you're an American, you know Mexican food's pretty top notch. But like if you're not American, I don't know your situation for acquiring Mexican food. Go for it if you can. It's a fucking choice. But that's like one of the go-to things out here is, oh, you got food poisoning. Must have had some bad Mexican food. And it's like, oh man, no, that's not how it is. That's not how it is whatsoever. And so I was just wondering if that was what people encountered in the other portions of the world. Like you have to say something, right? If you're, oh, this is not bad. Yeah, you're a nice Irishman. You say, I ate some bad English food the other day. You know, is that what other people do? Or is it just Mexican across the world? There has to be another nationality that's taking the pain. But all right, board's looking good here. We're about to just load this thing up. All foods aside, getting it in. I'm gonna lead with Fizz because we're gonna drop some Poro cannons here immediately after the Lulu, and so if he tries to Vile Feast our Fizz here at an odd timing, we'll take the counter spell on it. Okay.
There's nothing a good giggle can't fix.
Okay, he does nothing. So we're most certainly hooking his Arachnoid Horror with the Flame Chompers. The question is, do we care if we lose Fizz? And I think like not that bad, but it seems like a decent hook to hook in the Spiderling with the Flame Chompers and then just lose the Zonite Urchin to the Demolitionist. I think that's okay. Fizz isn't like be all important on this board. Nope, not you. There we go. Yeah, man, if y'all don't have Mexican food where you're at, I feel sad for you.
Routes closed.
So good. The thing that's really blown my mind, though, is it's Indian food. It's one of those things, where I grew up in West Virginia, there was like one Indian place. And my mom was always like, Indian food's bad, we're not going to eat that. So I was like, all right, I guess we're not eating that. But it wasn't until I moved to Kansas City and was like, let's fucking try it. Oh, so good. So good. All right, let's see if we can survive the turn. Yordle Captain should be a pretty big shutdown on this board. He's not going to deal any more ground-based damage the rest of the game. And we, technically have Whimsy. So if he does some kind of weird play, we can Whimsy down a Fearsome.
Oh, dizzy.
And how do we feel about this? We can technically get some damage in this turn. Like, yeah, well, I don't want to give him the chance to play units.
They won't like this.
So I assume he's gonna be blocking the Yordle Captain. This leaves us one short.
Your path ends here.
Takes him to
Routes
3.
closed.
That's an awful greedy way to do it. I was thinking, like, what if we just Flame Chompers as units and boost one of these small ones? That gives us a closer angle to get in with the Get Excited. That's probably what we should have gone about here. Assumed that he would play it as defensively as possible and then just block the Yordle Captain. I guess Fizz is dead, but surprise things went down this way. Rip. All right. Yordles in arms snatches victory. Let's see if Poppy Galio can do it. Nobody's banning the Poppy Galio. We got some sweet plays out of this thing today. Oh, he just he says I'm done. He says no more bust, no more, no more. I give up. I concede. Nice, nice. Prom glory. We earned it. You earned it, my friend. So again, I'm not sure what that actually means. Get used for something. I saw like my understanding in terms of playing seasonals was like the top 700 in Masters just get in, and I've made like no attempt to actually climb the ladder, and we're sitting around 500, and so I kind of feel like if given the last week, we need to just grind up in Masters and make 3 or 4 Scouts videos all in a row. We can do that, but I don't think we're gonna have too much trouble just like getting to rank like 400 and just parking it. I have no desire to try and grind up to the top of the ladder, and so we'll see how that plays out. But my understanding was the Gauntlet's all tied into that in some way as well. I guess we probably have enough. Right? I don't know. We have the 4 check marks on the little thing here, and so I guess I could click on the knowledge button and see. Oh, here's this, right? Open rounds on 5/14. What's that? It's like 3 weeks from now. I have to remember that. Your rank, Masters 100. Yeah, see, top 700 Masters players says your rank 100. So I guess we've done it, right? I guess we did it. I don't know. We'll deal with it when the time comes. But nonetheless, that's the lineup again. We've been running around with this quite a bit. Again, Scouts still quite good. I like playing the Poppy Galio deck because it's basically the same concept as Scouts, giving us another way to play Stony Suppressor. I wasn't super happy with the inclusion of Lulu Fizz today. It felt like we were going to get stuck running it into some bad matchups, and so we probably need to kind of like reanalyze the things there if we're going to try and put something together seriously. But I do still like this concept of just play the best decks. They're all pretty similar in terms of all being aggro decks. I don't like what that one dude did, where if you're going to say play like spiders and then like say Yumi Pantheon and then a control deck, and then your opponent just gets to say, oh, aggro deck is really good against me, let's ban, or control deck is really good against me, let's ban. But I think you can find a space to where you play 3 aggro decks or 3 mid-rangey decks and find yourself in a pretty good spot. But nonetheless, that is going to do it for us today. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. You learned how to suppress those feelings a little bit better. Maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.